As the title of this video said, I cannot keep shopping the way I have been. I wouldn't say that I've had a shopping addiction, but I'm someone who has used shopping as a way to sort of cope and deal with things, but I am also someone who loves fashion. I've loved fashion ever since I was a kid. It's something that has brought me so much joy, and I am not ready to give that up yet, even though this video is sort of a way for me to stay accountable, I guess, but also just to share my story. Maybe you're someone who also loves shopping, you love new things, and you are a consumer. Like, I will be the first to admit that I am like the overconsumption person that everybody on the internet is talking about. I've always loved stuff, I've always been a maximalist, and if you've been around on my other channel that I used to post on, my makeup channel, you will know that because I used to buy so much makeup, I used to get so much makeup sent to me, and I loved it. It was literally like Christmas every time I got a new package, and I still feel that way when I shop now. It is something that brings me a lot of joy. And I love the whole process of it. I love browsing, I love looking for things, I love the hunt of shopping and for finding that thing that really just, I don't know, sparks something in me that just makes me excited. And I want to share my story. I want to share with you where I came from, where I am right now, kind of how I want to change the things that need to change in my life. And maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, but I don't know, it's just supposed to be a little bit of a story time, and if you want to come along for the ride, maybe get a snack or a drink or something like that, and let's just sort of get into it. So I want to start by just kind of sharing where or how this all started, I guess. So like I was saying in the beginning, I'm someone who, I've always loved fashion. I grew up watching America's Next Top Model. I used to always watch like Project Runway. I'm 37, if that matters, if you can kind of like put a timestamp on like where I was when I was in my teenage years. But like I'm just someone who's always been really intrigued by the fashion world and like models and runways and anything that is out there that can make you express yourself in different ways. I've always just find that really fun. And I even remember the first day that I got my own money to be able to go to the mall. I remember my mom sent me off with I think like $20 to go to the mall by myself. And I remember I walked from the house that we lived in to the mall, like across the street on my own for the first time. And I went to the mall, and I even remember almost like the exact items that I picked out. I ended up buying a like long sleeve kind of sheer top printed and some bell-bottom jeans, and I remember I wore those to school the next day with my buffalo shoes, and I just felt so cool and so confident. And that was sort of like my first experience with dressing myself and being able to express myself in the way that I wanted, that felt good to me. And ever since then, I've had that same feeling when I go shopping and I look for things. It makes me really excited, and I love the way that I feel when I wear new things and the way that different garments can kind of pull out different personalities in me. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but as you can tell, I'm like clearly very passionate about this, and I think that that is why I've ended up where I am today. So that was probably back when I was maybe 12, 13, maybe I was even younger than that. But just as like a quick backstory, I started playing poker when I was 15, and I had a lot of success very early on. I started traveling for tournaments when I was 18, and I remember every time I either got knocked out of a tournament or I had some spare time on my trips, the first thing I did was I would go to the local mall and I would just walk around and I would see what the different new brands had to offer, and like go into stores that I'd never been to and just explore everything that we didn't have at home where I lived in Norway. And I would do this everywhere I went. I did it in Australia, I would do it in like Prague and London, and it was so much fun to me. And I've always used shopping as a hobby, and it still is sort of a hobby for me, but I need to change that a little bit as we sort of go along. But what I'm trying to say is that I've had a very privileged background, and I came into money quite early, and so I have dabbled in high-end fashion. I still thrift. I just love stuff. Like, it doesn't matter the price range. For me, luxury goods was never about the branding. It was more about the shopping experience itself, and being able to look at all these like beautifully made items, and just it was like a whole new world open up to me. And so I have, like I said, been shopping pretty much the whole spectrum for a very long time. And it's something that I really pride myself on being able to like build my wardrobe from so many different spectrums. I also had an eating disorder from, I want to say, between the age of like 23 to 26 or something like that, and I lost about 40 pounds during that time. And so because of that, I basically had to buy a whole new wardrobe. So like that was a reason for me to go shopping again. And then when I sort of recovered, I would say mentally, physically, I'm recovered now. I don't think about food as much as I did back then, and it's not something that controls my life anymore. But with that came some weight gain, and so like the clothes I had back then didn't fit anymore. So, you know, more shopping came with that. And because I was really into fitness back then, I used to buy a lot of like workout clothes, and then, you know, I started having back pain. I couldn't work out anymore, so I would buy more normal clothes. Do you see where I'm going? Like, it's just, I always felt like I had a reason to shop, and it was something that I loved doing, like I was saying. And because of those tough times that I felt like I went through, I also did use shopping as a bit of a pick-me-up and something that made me feel good, because it was something that, again, made me really happy. And so I feel like the cycle has just kind of like gone on and on and on and on for a very long time, and it's never been a problem for me. So I haven't played poker or anything for a very long time, and my ex that I was married to for over 10 years broke up with me last year. So we've been separated for about a year and a half now, and the divorce finally became official a few days ago. And so that's kind of where I'm at today, because like he was pretty much taking care of me financially while we were together, and that was like by his choice, and he wanted to do that. And I mean, God bless him, like he has been such an amazing person, and he really allowed myself to continue with my shopping. And that was definitely part of his love language, was just showing appreciation to me by letting me do the things that made me happy. So because I'm now officially on my own financially, and like I'm okay financially, but I can't keep shopping the way that I have been, is basically where I'm going. I mean, even the sweater that I'm wearing today, it's the first time I'm wearing it, and I have so many things in my wardrobe that I haven't worn yet. So maybe I can make a series out of that, like styling the things in my closet that I have yet to wear. I mean, I have so many ideas of content that I can do that doesn't revolve around buying new clothes, but at the same time, this channel isn't going to be any kind of like low buy or no buy channel, because I know myself and my personality that restriction does not work for me. And that is something that I realized during my eating disorder, that restriction for me leads to binging, and binging is really bad, and that leads to restriction. And then we have like this whole cycle over and over and over and over again. And that's really bad for my mental health. It's just really bad in general. So for me, this is going to be something that with everything else in my life, I feel like is moderation and just not being stupid. Like that is the whole point, and I feel like is my motto when it comes to absolutely everything. Just don't be stupid about it. You know, like let's think things through before we make a decision. And that's what I'm going to do with shopping as well. And where I shop is definitely going to change a little bit. Now, I'm not someone who really spends a lot of money. Okay, that's a lie. Like I'll buy a lot of stuff, and like that eventually like ends up being a lot of money, but I don't really buy expensive items. I don't buy designer stuff anymore. I might buy like a $200 pair of shoes once in a, you know, rare moon, but I don't really buy super expensive things. So it's more about just getting to the point where I don't feel like I always need to have a package coming to be excited about for me to not want to shop. Like, does that make sense? Am I the only one who's like that? Because I love window shopping. I love just like going on brands' websites and seeing what's new. Like I do that all the time. And of course, I think it kind of is self-explanatory that when you do that a lot, you're going to see things you like. And if you have money, you're going to end up buying those things because you like them and because you kind of sought them out. So I feel like I'm always looking for things to want. And because I'm finding things that I want, I end up buying them. So the first step that I've taken is to unsubscribe to like all the promotional emails, because I don't need to constantly be on these websites. I really don't. And I don't need any more stuff right now. If you've seen any of my other videos and you've seen my index where I've had someone style me for my wardrobe, I literally have 1,300 items logged in the app, which is absurd. And like, don't get me wrong, not all of these things are clothes. Like I've literally logged every single one of my rings and like little ribbons and like hair ties and like all the small little things are in the app as well. But it's just, I'm saying this to tell myself that I don't need more stuff. And I do plan on doing another declutter, which I haven't filmed any before, but I'm thinking, because I did sort of declutter while I was putting everything into my index, maybe I can go through those things that are sort of in my maybe pile, and we can make a video out of like what to keep, what not to keep. And I do plan on probably starting a Poshmark and like selling some of the things that I do have, just to kind of make some of the money back. Not expecting to make a ton, but I just want to be a little bit smarter about everything moving forward. And I definitely want to include some more thrifting content, because that is something that I really love doing. I love thrifting. And like I was saying, I don't plan for this to be like a no buy, or I don't want all of the joy that I get from fashion to be taken out of my life, because that's not fair to me in any way. Like I still do really enjoy self-expression and being able to get new things in here and there, and it doesn't have to be all the time anymore. But I don't want to tell myself no, because then I know it's going to backfire. So I'm just gonna take it one day at a time. We'll see where this ends up. And yeah, I don't know, like I just wanted to kind of word vomit for a little bit and just put it out in the open. And yeah, maybe this can be sort of motivation for you as well, if you feel like you're in the same position. I don't know. I don't feel like I have a shopping addiction in any way. I feel like it's just something that I've allowed myself to do because I can, and because I've gotten a lot of joy out of it. And right now I need to find joy in other things, which I don't think is going to be a problem. And I'm gonna try to maybe spend more time on actually making videos instead of sitting on my computer looking at pretty things. And maybe I can do some de-influencing videos, and videos maybe talking about the things that I wanted to buy but didn't buy and why. And if you have any suggestions and things that you want to see on my channel moving forward, definitely want to do some more styling videos, because I really enjoyed those. Yeah, maybe some thrifting videos, like I said, as well. But just let me know what you want to see, and I can definitely take that into consideration. Thank you so much for just listening to me ramble for however long this has been. If you have any stories to share of your own, please do down in the comments. I would love to read them. And if you want to see another video, I will put one up on the screen that I think you might enjoy. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one.